Rousay, one of the North Isles of the Orkneys. 5 miles long, 3 miles wide, one road, 210 inhabitants, 2 shops, a post office, a pub, and a film society. Now, it may not be the most northerly, most remote film society in the British Isles, but it must come pretty close. Let's have all the other contestants, please. But the most remarkable thing about it is that of those 210 inhabitants, now that includes about 30 children and the aged and infirm, and perhaps 1 or 2, I suppose, who might think that the cinema still is part of the devil in all his works. Almost a half, 75 of them, are fully paid-up Film Society members. Now, what do they do up here in Rousay at the Film Society? Show each other home movies and so on? Not a bit of it. They have a very full and commercial and interesting programme. And what have they shown? Lenny, the romantic Englishwoman, I got the details here somewhere. Soldier Blue, Music Lovers, later in the season, The French Connection, and MASH. And tonight, big star attraction with people coming from other islands and other boats, Fiddler on the Roof.
The day of the screening is a hard day's work for Frank Harris, the man who only has himself to blame for thinking up the idea in the first place. He and his wife and a few friends set up the projector and lay out the chairs in the island hall, which serves as cinema. But they also have to drum up support from the islanders, dropping the word and a poster or two in Mrs. Gibson's shop, even giving a brief plot synopsis if the occasion arises.
What's it about tonight?
I think it's a film about Russian Jews.
What's it like?
Well, I haven't seen it, but it's supposed to be a very good musical.
The film comes in by boat. Everything comes in by boat. Everything depends on Mancy Flaw's ferryboat getting across the treacherous channel between Rousay and the mainland of Orkney. Chris Soames, the Society's treasurer, can see the channel from his fields. Today, they're waiting for a special widescreen lens for Fiddler on the Roof, due to begin in 3 hours' time. Unfortunately, it hasn't arrived. They take a £5 for membership and £1 at the door from non-members, but a feature like Fiddler can cost them between £20 and £30 with transport and insurance. And after a season of 10 or a dozen films, there won't be a lot to spare.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I have to apologise tonight because we're using a lens of our own, which has not got the quality that we had before. So you'll find it ill-defined. You won't be able to focus just correctly on that. Now, it's a long film. It's 5 reels long, so we're going to have the break after the 3rd reel. I think that's all. Oh, there's one other point. There's cases for some glasses here that people left behind last time.
Another centre of island community life is the pub, but we all have to leave it sometime. There was Sandy Wiley's travelling film service up till 10 years ago when television killed it, and that was the last time most of the islanders went to the pictures.
One reason why starting a film society on Rousay was a good thing is because going to the pictures was never very easy. Now, I'm going to the pictures now, and I'm going to tot up how long it takes me and how much it costs me. In the first place, I've got to get a lift to the pier. Now, I might be the other side of the island, but so happens I've got a friend to take me there, so it's just the cost of the petrol. But if I got a taxi, for example, it might cost up to £2 and take about 20 minutes to half an hour. So, pier, next stop.
This may all seem primitive till you compare it with Sandy Wiley's tales of transporting film in the old days.
I've seen the waves strike the back of the wagon that the horse was put in and going straight up to the horse's collar or the horse's neck, completely underwater, under the spray. Horse paid no attention because it was so used to the ordeal.
At the pier, I thank my lift and prepare to negotiate with the ferryman to see if he'll take me across the water. It can be a wild journey.
So the next step is the boat. Across to the mainland of Orkney, of course. Journey time about 25 or 30 minutes. Cost £6. I could have gone more cheaply if I'd gone by the regular ferry, but it only goes twice a day, so I had to hire this one.
It's the intermission of Fiddler on the Roof back at the hall. The first films in the season, Lenny, Soldier Blue, The Music Lovers, had got some pretty raw reactions.
The first films that they've had, I thought for the people here, they're rather lacking in entertainment value, but this is a good one.
Really?
Yes, but I like the more. I'm not asking for Confessions of and all those kind of films, but they're kind of on a lighter vein. I've seen lots of films, like Straw Dogs, and I don't really, I don't like too much violence or anything like that.
What about Fiddler on the Roof that we've just seen?
It's not too bad. I mean, it's a long film.
Did you watch all the way through?
No. I fell asleep halfway.
How did you like your screen? Thank you.
Came out very well. All right, isn't it?
It's not many village halls that can boast a good CinemaScope screen, especially one they made themselves. Mrs. Harris, Frank Harris's mother, stitched it herself out of sailcloth. The do-it-yourself tradition is inevitable in a small-budget film society, but it's the price you pay for being able to choose your own films. Up to a point, so long as it doesn't seem to too many of the members that you're doing the devil's work. At least they don't carry things to the do-it-yourself length that Sandy Wiley did once when he was showing Capra's Mr. Deeds Goes to Town.
We switched on and everything worked except the speaker. We could get no sound. I've seen the picture, I've shown it several times in the process of coming around the aisles, and had more or less memorised a part of the dialogue that was taking place, so I substituted for the dialogue. And
You mean you read the parts? You actually spoke the dialogue?
I spoke the parts.
The trip to the mainland cinema, the Phoenix, is a mixed blessing in all sorts of ways. The Phoenix itself has only reopened recently after being moribund for several years, and the programme there is cautiously steering its way to popularity.
But we're not there yet. We've got to get into Kirkwall, which is about 14 miles away. That's the main town on the island. Journey time, about 25 to 30 minutes. And the price, about £3. Of course, I could have gone on a bus, which is much cheaper, but it only runs once a day, not at this time of day. And anyway, it doesn't come back.
Fiddler is over at last, but the inquest goes on into the small hours.
The audience reacted better than they have to anything so far. But I mean, that's not from what they've said. It was just from sort of happy noises like laughter and things, instead of the shocked gasps of horror at naked bodies and things that we've had before.
What, loads of music lovers?
Well, all previous films have tended to shock a little bit, I think.
Bruce, you're a native Orcadian. Do you think that people did they seem to be shocked?
Yes, I think they were. You don't mean tonight?
No, the previous films, Lenny and the Romantic English.
Very shocked, I think it's some of them, yeah.
They were?
Yeah.
How are you going to square this problem of public taste? You've got a very small community, and they have all sorts of people represented in all age groups. How are you going to get those 75 people to keep coming unless if you show a wide variety of possibly controversial material?
A number of them would come in any case because it's a social occasion on the island. It's an evening out. Some of the films are obviously going to upset some people, and some people are going to be bored by some of the others, but I think they're going to have to look at it in the overall context of the whole programme. I suspect that it's one of the questions that we're going to have to talk about later on is, have we made a mistake in bringing on the heavy films? Too many, too quick, too early.
Is that worse than too few, too slow, too late? Running your own cinema is an exercise in diplomacy as well as taste.
So here we are finally at the Phoenix Kirkwall after a journey time of about an hour and 3/4 and a cost of up to £10. Don't forget, of course, I've got to go back again, so make it 20. There's another snag, though. The cinema doesn't open till the evening, and I can't get a boat back across the water after the show finishes. I have to wait till morning, where I'm going to wait, bed and breakfast. Another £3 or £4 if I stay in a hotel, maybe a £5. So you can see £25 plus the cinema ticket, I guess, is hardly worth it. If I hung on till 8 o'clock this evening and booked my bed and breakfast, I could see Death Wish if I wanted to. but I don't particularly. And I think I'll go back to Rousay and see Fiddler on the Roof for the third time.